First thing I'm going to do is plug it in. And then I'm going to put in the milk. This is 1 gallon. And this is pasteurized milk, so that's what we're working with. And then I'm going to grab this whole milk Greek yogurt. And that's what we're going to use for our starter. Now, since I'm using a gallon, I'm going to use a cup of the yogurt for a starter. Probably do a half to a full cup, but I want to make sure we've got enough. And when I stir it up, it probably would have been easier to stir it with a little bit of milk at the bottom and then add the rest of the milk after. But this isn't bad. And then I'm going to press the yogurt button. Now, you could put it on boil and bring it up to 180. Mine is already pasteurized. I'm not going to worry about that right now. But I'm going to go ahead and put this lid on. It doesn't have to have a sealing ring or be on sealing because it's not actually going to come to pressure. It's more of like a slow cook function. So I'm just going to leave this here overnight and come back early in the morning and see how it's doing, if it's thick enough or if I want to leave it a little bit longer. But it's just going to count up, so I'll know in the morning how long it's been. Okay, this is how it's looking. Let me get a spoon. So I'd say it's pretty good. It's not too tart. I just put it in the refrigerator for a couple of days and it got really thick. Success. So it's a couple days later and we have eaten most of the yogurt, but I wanted to show you how you could strain it to make it thicker. This is not ideal. This is a nut milk bag that I just put whatever we had left over, which was not a whole lot. I put it in the nut milk bag. What would be better to use is a flour sack towel. I'll put a picture of what that looks like on screen. I don't have any right now. But if you strain it out, this is how I do it. You can work out how it's going to work for you. I just put a little jar at the bottom because this will go all the way down to the bottom if I don't. So it's strained out a lot though because my nut milk bag is not fine enough. So I would recommend using a flour sack towel, but it strains out all the liquid down here, which is whey, and you can use that whey. You can use that whey when you make waffles or pancakes in lieu of the milk or water, and it'll make them nice and fluffy and add some protein. So if you like a thicker yogurt, I would recommend doing something like this. Not with the nut milk bag though, too much goes through. I would recommend the flour sack towel. I've also heard that if you heat your milk beforehand, sometimes it will get thicker when you add the yogurt in and do the whole process. So like I had mentioned at the beginning, if you heat up your milk to about 180 to 200 degrees, some people say for about like 20 minutes, then it supposedly gets thicker. So I'm going to try that in the future. I've done this a few times, but I'm still learning. So that's something I might try, but also just straining off the whey works for me as well. This is why I recommend using the cheesecloth instead of just a strainer, because there's so much less that comes through when you use cheesecloth. So there you go.